బాగా చేయమ్మా, ప్రశాంతంగా చేయి. ఆల్ ద బెస్ట్.
I'm waiting for your replies. Okay, come again. I'll repeat the question. On a midsummer afternoon, when the roads are really, really hot, if you see a person walking with a shoe on just one of his legs and the other leg completely bare, and he goes on walking on that road, what is your opinion when you see such a person? Is my question clear? I'll repeat it again. You find a person on a summer afternoon. He's walking with a shoe on just one of his legs and the other leg bare. He goes on walking on that really, really hot road. What will you think? What's your immediate reaction when you see a person like that? Well, maybe his poor is in search of food. That can be an option actually. But oh, pity. Okay. What if that person is a well educated and a completely normal looking person? He's not a poor one or he's not in need of sym- sympathy or something. Feeling pity for him. Feel pity for him. Fine. Well, maybe he's depressed kind of. Will a depressed person walk with a single shoe? Maybe. Fine. So I think my immediate reaction when I see such a person is, why is he doing this? Is he nuts or something? Because wired, yes, that's something which we usually tend to feel. Is he mad or what? Because a person who knows to wear a shoe on one leg, I think he must be sensible enough to know that the other leg needs a shoe as well. So, if we apply this immediate example to what we are doing in our daily lives, we are that exact person walking with a single shoe. Here, a pair of shoes means the hard skills and soft skills which we need to advance in our career. But what we do, not just we, our parents, society, even the colleges which we study in, what they do is they tend to focus on that single skill, that's hard skills. Um, that's hard skills. So what happens is maybe at the end of the year for 1 week or 10 days, they conduct GTP sessions and they think that they have done their level best to improve our soft skills. But the thing is, just like we need food every day, just like we need oxygen almost every minute, it's as important as that we practice soft skills because it's more like the way of leading a life. So, the other shoe here is soft skills, which we often tend to forget and walk along with a single shoe that's hard skill. So, again, coming back to the entire square one, in order to improve either hard skills or soft skills, the first and the foremost thing is that we should be aware of what exactly is the career path that we want. What career path can we choose, and is that really suitable for us? Only then can we learn the hard skills that are necessary for that. Because soft skills is something which is a generic thing. It's more like irrespective of the profession you choose, soft skills are more or less same for every person and any profession. But hard skills differ a lot. For a computer developer or a coding, um, Miss Vanilla, could you please mute your audio? Thank you. Yeah. So, hard skills. For a chef, it's important that he has those culinary skills. And for a computer developer or a program developer, it's necessary that he has that coding knowledge within him. So, based on the career path you choose, your skill set differs. So hard skills are something you'll be able to develop only when you're sure about the career path. So that will be our first topic for the day: how to choose the career path that's right for us. Well, I know that currently we are dealing with a really tough situation, but this pandemic did have a flip side too. I was so bored that I started reading almost a lot of books in my dad's library, and that was where I found this one excellent book called Ikigai, which helped me get a clarity about my future. And trust me, stay focused for the coming 10 to 15 minutes, and you are also going to gain a lot from this. So, are you all with me? Excited to know about this? Do let me know in the chat section. Now, nice. So, when I conducted the preliminary survey about what you people want to gain from this session, a lot of people asked me about a clarity about their future or the career path which they want to choose. If you can see on screen, you have a few of the career options are mentioned here, and there are also a lot of other career options which we feel are rather unconventional and our parents feel are not safe to pursue. I'm pretty sure that I think almost everyone over here are from MPC background. So let me ask you people this one question. Did you ever hear this from your parents saying that a person from BPC background needs a lot of time to settle in future? So take MPC, it's more like a shortcut to success. You'll get settled real quick. How many of you heard this from your parents or neighbors or relatives or anyone when you were about to choose your intermediate stream? I'm pretty sure almost every MPC selected student would have heard this at least once. Irrespective of if that statement motivated them or influenced them, they should have definitely heard this sentence at least once. So we chose MPC because it was a safe path, but all of a sudden, Corona happened, and boom, we're all in a situation where we are actually not sure if this is indeed a safe option. So what can be our other options? Stay with me and we'll know that very soon. So here if you can see, we have a few options like game developer, animation, event management, a career specialist, career specialist. Actually, the thing is, especially in India, in our society, we don't have people. Yes, Miss Divya. Do you have any question? Hello? Um, Fine. Hello, Miss Divya? Fine. So, yeah, career specialist. Especially in India, there are a very few people who can guide us and tell us exactly what are the career options we can venture into. So this is a very lucrative career which we can actually consider worth trying. It's worth giving a shot. And then again, we have translator. A lot of us don't know that being a translator is such a lucrative and high paying option. Actually, every country has got its embassy, and we have an external minister's external affairs office and all. So there, a person with decent linguistic skills can go try their luck in securing a job of a translator. So there are a number of options which we actually don't know. If we consider them, maybe this unemployment problem can be solved to an extent because such unexplored careers have got many vacancies and a few people applying to them due to the lack of awareness about them. So, how do we actually choose what profession suits us out of this plethora of options? For that, Ikigai gave me a solution. If you can observe the Venn diagram over here, for those who actually don't like maths that much, please excuse me, but still, this Venn diagram is something that you're going to love. Ikigai. What is an ikigai? So, if I ask you, usually at what time do you go to college? Well, in my college, if you ask me, I've seen people just when the gates are right about to close into that narrow passage, they just chase as if they're some Hollywood action heroes or actors, something. They just chase into that little opening into the gate and they reach the college right on time when the gates are about to be closed. But the same people, they reach the college, yes, 10:30. I've even seen people who reach college at 11 o'clock. There are people. So, but still, if you plan a picnic with your friends, you reach the spot even before the gates are open. You go there, wait for the gates to get open, and enjoy the day. Why is this difference? This is because you're really excited about your trip with your friends and you want to make the most out of it. You want to enjoy the entire day that's in your hand. So you wake up early, you get ready fast, you reach there on time. So this is all what happens because you're truly interested in that picnic trip. So why not we start taking the same interest in our life? Even on birthdays, we usually tend to wake up real quick on our birthdays because that's something special. So why not make every day as special as that? For that, we need to find a purpose of our life, a purpose that is the actual reason why we are alive, why we wake up every day. Only when we are motivated do we get that energy to spring out of bed every morning. So, Ikigai is that purpose which keeps you motivated all through your life. How to find that out? I actually request everyone, if possible, to take a piece of paper and do this assignment or task, simple task, along with me. Divide the page, take it into a landscape mode, put it this way, divide it into four parts. And the first part consists of all the things that you love doing. What are the things that we love doing? Well, if you ask me, well, I really love cooking, singing, dancing, and yes, of course, I think you guys might have understood by now, I love talking a lot. So, each and every person have their own interests. It doesn't matter how silly the thing is. Maybe a few of you like playing with toys or teddies. Doesn't matter. Just mention that in the list. I want you to retrospect your 18 to 20, 22 years of lifespan very detailedly and think of all the things that you love doing. So, are you all doing this exercise along with me? I'm waiting for your comments. Yes, good. So, just mention all those things that you really love doing. If it's watching movies or just listening to songs, no matter how unimportant you feel it is, just mention them. Entire list. I want it in a single column. So once you're done with this list, I want you all to go to the next column. I'll give you a minute time before we do go to the second column. So moving on to our second column. This is the things that we are really good at. Uh, I think you remember earlier I mentioned that I love singing and dancing, but there's a little problem. The thing is that I'm a terrible dancer. So I can't mention dancing in this second column. but that's something I really love doing. So in second column comes cooking. I'm really good at cooking. And then comes extempore speaking. I'm literally very good at extempore. Then comes debates, elocutions, and essay writing. So a lot of this stuff. I can just go on with the list. So you think about the things that you are good at. Actually, this is the column where most of the people go blank. I have almost performed this experiment with literally 50 to 60 of my friends earlier, or cousins at least. So almost everyone were like, at least 20 to 30% of the people, they went blank when they were asked to fill the second column. The thing is, we are all unique, but the saddest part is we don't believe that we are unique. This statement is limited to sharing on Instagram or WhatsApp status. That's it. We don't actually believe that. Only if we believe that we truly are unique can we know what our hidden talents are. We're all gifted with one talent or the other for sure. So, if you want me to give an example, how about a sense of smell? There are a few people who are really, really good at smell. They are so sensitive that they can sense some chicken biryani that's being cooked around the end of the street. No one can even realize that. You run to their house and ask, Auntie, are you cooking chicken biryani today? So they have this strong sense of smell. What we usually think is, what use is that of? It's completely waste. But do you know that people who have the sensitive nose are good perfume testers or perfume makers? We know that perfumes are a luxury item. So just imagine the pay scale of a person who actually makes these perfumes or tests these perfumes. So no skill is actually useless. Think of the skills that you are really, really good at. Like I told you, sense of smell, sense of taste. Actually, yeah, sense of taste reminds me of this another profession called a tea taster. Tea taster. Yes, you heard it right. You know what his job is? He doesn't have to do anything. He'll just have to go to the tea manufacturing company, the factory, test a batch of tea they manufacture, see if it's right, suitable to the company's standards, uh, made according to the formula or not. If there's any change, he just need to suggest that maybe in this the concentration of the tea leaf went a notch higher or it's a little less or something. You need to make those necessary corrections. Taste a cup of tea that's made in a new batch or a new product. That's it. For that, he'll be paid in lakhs. This is because there are really few people who have this amazing taste bud. Very few people. So when you are rare, your talent is definitely paid well. So think of these options which you have never ever thought of. Did you ever, before this, thought that your sense of smell or your sense of taste can be this worthy? Yeah. So after you're done finishing the second column, now we'll move on to the third column, what we can be paid for. So what can we be paid for? In this, of course, the first slot is always occupied by a graduation major or a post-graduation major. Now, I think most of the students over here are from the BTech background. So definitely we can be paid for coding. We can be paid for artificial intelligence, embedded systems, VLSI. So there are a lot of career options right there, and we can be paid for that. But then again, we also have a few people who think that their hard skills are not enough to help them secure a decent job. So, what to do in such a scenario? Well, every person must be skilled at something or the other. Like during your childhood, you must have had this music coaching, or you must be a trained dancer, or a karate champion, or a boxing specialist, or something like that. So, as an extracurricular activity, everyone must have pursued one interest or the other for sure. So, you can make this a right opportunity and start earning with the help of that as well. So, just see to the skills that you can be actually paid for and make a list of it. Then comes the fourth column, which most of the people tend to ignore, but is the important column, what the world needs. So here, I would like to give you all an example of Dunkin' Donuts. How many of you here ever heard about Dunkin' Donuts? We have around 53 participants here, and I want to know, did you ever hear about Dunkin' Donuts? No, 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 no. Just two replies. Yes. So Miss Srileka heard about Dunkin' Donuts. That's great. So Miss Srileka, can you let the audience know what is Dunkin' Donuts? Miss Srileka, I'm waiting for your reply. Fine. Let me tell you. Most of the audience over here have never heard a single word about Dunkin' Donuts. I'm pretty sure that everyone over here must have heard about Domino's, McD, and all, right? So, Dunkin' Donuts is another food chain that came into India way before Domino's and McDonald's. But today, we don't even find a single branch of Dunkin' Donuts in India, and people almost forgot about its existence. Do you know the reason? Because they didn't realize what the society of India actually needed. They didn't have that empathy or human angle when they wanted to start a business chain here. Their price tariff was so high. Actually, people usually we go, yes, Miss Srileka replied. Dunkin' Donuts are famous for their delicious donuts. Yes, actually, the food quality was really good, just like McD, Domino's, and all. But the prices were really, really super high. So, usually, students go to such places for birthday parties or hanging out with friends or something like that. So, students are, it's obvious that we don't earn. We either have part-time jobs or we get pocket money from our parents. So, when the price tags are so high, we can't actually relish the food or enjoy the meeting we are having with friends. All that we can think of is about the bill we are going to receive at the end of our trip there, of our little visit there. So, we need to have that human angle. See, observe the trends of the market, what exactly the market needs. And only if you give the market what it needs is when you're going to succeed. Until and unless you can never succeed. See, when an organization, an MNC like Dunkin' Donuts can't survive this, how can an individual survive without a human angle? Think about it. So, once you're done making all the four columns, now everything is right in front of you. The only thing is you need to connect the dots. So let me give you an example to help you connect the dots. And even after me giving the example, if you're still not able to find out what exactly all these four columns, how can they actually be linked? Wait, because this is something which deals with almost 20 or 22 years of your life. So take time, sit calmly for at least 15 to 20 minutes and think thoroughly. Even if you can't crack it then, I'll always be here to help you. So do feel free to contact me about the queries you have once you have thought thoroughly about your ikigai. Fine. So here begins an example. This is actually the example of one of my closest friends. He's more like a family friend of mine. We have grown together since childhood. So, what he loves, he really, really loves animation. And he also loves cricket, like most of the boys do. He also has some love towards cooking. He loves music and singing. Then coming to the second column, what is he good at? So my friend is really good at electronics and communication, as that's his major. He's from a technical background. And then he's also equally good at coding. Actually, where most of the electronics and communication engineers find the difficulty is when it comes to coding. But this guy, this fellow, is really gifted. He was equally good with the coding skills as well. He's also good with animation and stuff. Then comes what can he be paid for? What can he be paid for? Like I already told you, he's an electronics and communication major. So he can be paid for, and he's good with coding. So he can be paid for being an associate engineer or a product developer or something. He can be paid for anything in his stream. He can also be a gamer or an animation developer because he was also good with animation stuff. So he made a list of all the three things, but he didn't forget the most important thing, what the society needs. Since childhood, he always wanted to do something innovative, never go the conventional path. So all he did was analyzed. He was good with animation and coding as well. So he used coding, animation, and combined them into the augmented reality field and virtual reality field. We all know what virtual reality is, don't we? We all know what virtual reality is, right? Yes. So, what he did is, with his animation and coding, he created, he thought that there's a need in the construction business. Because recently, my close friends were constructing and they have faced this dreadful problem like they didn't understand how should the interior of the house be planned, where should we plan what, like if you plan a staircase here, what about the spacing and all. They were really confused. So then he used his skill, and on an empty plot with the help of a VR headset, he showed them how the house looks exactly like they were actually planning to do. So with this, they were able to clarify all the doubts they had, and they were pretty happy with the way their house was going to be turned out. So actually, if you go see, when you go to buy some plots or what, they have the banners and hoardings over there, which show you how the house or apartment is going to look once the construction is finished. But it's all 2D. You cannot actually get the exact idea. But this is something 3D, and you can experience this as if you're actually standing in that finished constructed house. So, this is something which the world actually needs. It's like implementing the technology into some age old business construction. So, this idea really clicked hard. It was a huge, huge, huge success. But he did face a few roadblocks. There were a few troubles. Now, you may ask me, why did he even face troubles? Because, see, the thing is, he was really good at what he was doing. It's an innovative and a new profession, so he obviously didn't have much competition. And the idea was also a huge success. So, despite these three important points, he did face a lot of difficulties to make his business zoom, skyrocket. Why was this? Because he was not able to communicate his idea effectively. He had this really good idea. He was also skillful about the work he was doing, but he was not able to convince those realtors and all about the work he was doing. Because of this, he lost a lot of projects and he faced a lot of difficulty. So then he realized the importance of soft skills. Until then, just like what we have been doing, he was traveling with a single shoe. Then he realized that the road is real hot and he definitely needs another shoe in order to walk comfortably. So he took a soft skills course. That's a 40-day course, and within 40 days, he was so obviously he was a good child. I mean, a good student, good at grasping. So he learned all the techniques that were necessary for him to convince the realtors that his idea is effective and is going to work. So with those soft skills, he got a huge success in his market, and today he earns lakhs of rupees for a single project. So how did this all happen? This all happened because he was aware of his ikigai. He knew what it was. Until and unless you know what you are and what you want, we just go on following the herd like sheep. My neighbor went into an MNC, so I need to go into the same MNC and sit right beside him. I should be his colleague or a neighbor, even in office. This is what our mindset is. We're actually trained this way. But only if we change our mindset can we actually start making miracles. So, now, in the paper in your hand, you have got your entire skill set. Now, if you consider that skill set as raw materials or ingredients, um, let's imagine, can a cook make a delicious dish without the necessary ingredients and skill? No. Just like ingredients are important, so is the skill and the ability of the chef to make that dish. So, you need to have those talents, and if you think the talents you have right now, they are more like raw materials. You need to sharpen them. On this earth, any pencil's purpose is to write, but only a sharpened pencil can give you a neat product or a neat output. So, you need to sharpen your skills so much that ultimately your end product is so perfect that you'll definitely get. So, am I making clear any sense? Did you get any idea? If you get at least a least bit of idea about what's going on over here, just type bulb on in the chat section so that I'll know how many of you understood what I'm saying. Bulb on, or BO, short form. Bulb on. Nice. Great. So, thank you so much for paying attention till now, and I hope this gave you some idea about what career path and how can we actually choose this. And then comes another important question. Will we get our job? So, right now, there are a few people who actually got their offer letters but are waiting for a confirmation call from their company that if the offer is still valid. A lot of us are truly anxious about this, right? I think that's the situation in the market right now. So this is one set of people. And then we have another set of people. They're like, I thought of attending an interview, but then this pandemic came. And right now, I don't have any offer letter in my hand. What is my future? This is the second set of people. I agree that this is a situation the world has never seen before, or at least the the living world has never seen before. I heard that similar situations occurred some 200 years ago or something like that. But any living people right now never heard about anything of such sort. So, how do we deal with this? For that, the important thing is to identify your niche, sub niche, and a micro niche. So, once you know your ikigai, that is the purpose of your life, that can be more or less called your niche. But Knowing your niche is not enough. You need to narrow it down into a micro niche. Why? So, before telling the answer to your question, why, I'll ask you a question. Who do you remember when you hear the word helicopter shot? Who do you hear, or who comes into your mind when you hear the word helicopter shot? Yes, Dhoni. Dhoni, yes. MSD. Our very own Mahendra Singh Dhoni comes into our mind. Why am I asking this question? Actually, cricket has got nothing to do with career, right? Why am I asking this? I'll tell. You people may ask me. I am clear about my niche. I think career growth or business growth is my niche point. I'll develop skills in that and I'll go forward. Why should I have some specific specialization? See, um, if you go meet a random person and tell cricket or cricketer, they may not be that excited. But when you hear about MSD or helicopter shot, this is something that is a specific thing that is concerned with only MSD. Just like now, I answered a question and immediately everyone thought of just Dhoni. Similarly, in future, you are under business growth, but business growth is a vast topic. It's a vast thing where the gains are divided into sales, promotion, production, hiring, recruitment. So it's a vast field. So for you to succeed in that, you need to choose any one thing. Of course, now you guys can tell Dhoni was also a wicket keeper and he's also a captain. Yes, but most of the people, and he's actually a famous batsman. So that's his sub niche. Here, let me explain what this flowchart is in simple terminology. If cricket is the niche of Mr. MS Dhoni, batting is his sub niche. So when we take batting, there are cover drives, singles, fours, a lot of things. But helicopter shot is his speciality. That's his micro niche. People turn to him when they hear the word helicopter shot. Similarly, if you narrow down your path, choose a particular topic, and gain complete mastery over that, you get you get real expertise in that field. There's nothing which can come in your way of success. So even the example of doctors, uh, I have never seen a doctor till date who can perform a full body surgery. We have got a heart surgeon, a neurosurgeon. So for every particular vital organ in a body, we have got a doctor who has done a specific specialization for that. There's no doctor who can perform an all full body surgery or something like that. So similarly, just like how human organs and human body is important, career is equally important. So we need to narrow down a path in order to avoid confusion, because too much of information, or it's like traveling on two boats. You can't put your either legs on two boats and travel at the same time. It's very risky. So choose one and gain complete knowledge about that. That will help you in gaining success. And another important thing is getting your online presence in shape. The world is never going to be the same again. Things are all going to be digital. So once things get digital, it's important for you to make your online presence in shape. What is it? Let me help you. We need to brand ourselves. What is branding ourselves? Just like your neighbors or the people in your locality are aware of your existence, the people online should also know. The virtual world should also know your presence. This is called branding yourself. How you brand yourself is again a very deep and a vast topic in itself for which you need to work hard. And then comes growing your influence. You know what an influencer is and how this works, right? Uh, an Instagram celebrity posts a picture with a chocolate in her hand, and that's like an indirect promotion to the chocolate, and for that she earns thousands or lakhs. So this is, in brief, how an influencer works. But there are different ways how it can actually function. So another important thing is to grow your influence online, and then is to build your network. We already know that a single twig or a single strand of hair is really easy to break. But when we braid the hair or we bundle a log of twigs or something like that, it's difficult to break. Similarly, when you build a community of people who share similar interests like you can never get losses. You help one another, you help your business to grow, and this way, everyone in your community are benefited. So it's important to work in group. Working alone is a good idea, but not for a long time. If you are planning for a long term or a really long coming future, you always need to build a community which will definitely help you attain great heights in your career. So once you're clear about your niche and a micro niche, once you know how to shape your presence online and all, there's nothing which can stop you from getting a job or starting a business, in fact. See, we already know, if we believe or not, it is the food industry that suffered a really, really heavy blow. Uh, we stopped buying things outside, we stopped going and dining out in fancy restaurants and all. So it did suffer heavy losses. But still, it is surviving, and according to a recent survey, 40% of their takeaways and home delivery services were still intact. So when food industry can survive such a heavy blow, we're all in the technology industry, and this is the time actually when latest technologies evolve, helping people stay at home and continue with their daily life. So don't you worry about your jobs and your future. They're all safe and secure. If not immediately, maybe in the coming 6 months or so, definitely companies are going to hire soon. So, in the meantime, it's our responsibility to upskill ourselves. If we think there's a particular area where we are not perfect or skillful enough, it's the time we start upskilling ourselves. Both in the, just a minute. Okay, so am I actually clear? Like, is my voice and video sync in sync? Hello? Okay, fine. So, where were we? Yeah. So, if not immediately, companies are definitely going to hire you guys soon. It's the time, in the meantime, we need to upskill ourselves. And another important thing is, how do we spend the time productively and also gain income? We all realize what our niche is and what our micro niche is. And yeah, there's this thing. When I was a child, a really, really young child, someone raised their hand. Do you have any questions, sir or madam? Fine. Okay, where were we? Hmm. So, where was I? Yeah, blogging, podcasts, and all. Yeah. So, somewhere in our first years of graduation, we should have definitely heard this from our principals or deans that they are expecting young entrepreneurs from us. They're expecting startups. When I was a really, really young child, I wanted to invent this car which works driverless. But you already know that they already started manufacturing driverless cars. So today the world is so advanced, so fast that you don't even get a thought, and there's already someone who's started implementing it. So this is the right time to get into the digital business because in India at least, it's in a budding stage. It's more like a baby or an infant which hasn't reached its peak uh, potential yet. So it's the time you get into this, start growing along with the trend so that you'll definitely be on the top of the ladder once this trend reaches its peak potential. So you've got a lot of options like blogging, podcasting, YouTube channels, and ebooks. Can you believe me if I told you that a lot of IIM students quit their well settled careers to become full time writers? Yes, because writing do have that great potential in it. Podcasts are the upcoming trends for sure. Because if you see that in future people are definitely not going to have this much of free time to sit and watch an audio or a program for hours together. So what they do is just plug in their AirPods and listen to something while they're traveling or while they're doing their works or something like that. So podcasts are going to be the new trend. Ultimately, to do any of these things, like I already told you, in order to be successful in your career, you need hard skills as well as soft skills. If you think of the career growth as a branch, as a trunk, soft skills and hard skills are two branches of that trunk. But I personally believe that soft skills are the root. They're the root of a person's career. Because no matter how great you are with your technical skills, until and unless you're able to convey your skills, you can never be successful with what you're doing. Do you all agree with me? Hello? You all agree with me, right? Great. So, what are a few of the key soft skills? Communication skills. Like I already told you in the earlier example, while we were dealing with the Ikigai concept, my friend was really good with his technical knowledge, but he was not an effective communicator. Just a minute, we have a question here. Is it okay if we have technical knowledge 30% and soft skills 70%? Well, this is actually a hypothetical question which depends on the career path you're choosing. Because if you want to be a software engineer or something like a gamer, there definitely you should have 80% of technical skills. Because otherwise, with just effective communication or time management, you can't excel in that career. If you think that you have 70% of soft skills, then you better choose a career path that requires more amount of soft skills and less amount of hard skills. Just like you can be a career counselor, you can get into the coaching industry because today coaching is something which is very important. Coaching here doesn't literally mean teaching. Um, we have relationship coaches. As long as the society has bonds and relations, there are definitely a few problems in them. So you can coach them, like you can coach parents about how to raise their teenage kids, or you can how to raise infants, parenting tips, or couple fights, or there are a lot of relationship coaches, business growth coaches, health and wellness coaches. So why I'm saying this is because there are also n number wide range of options for people who have 70% or 80% of soft skills and a little less hard skills. So you better choose the career path which is apt for you rather than getting into an industry that needs more hard skills. But if your question means that can you survive in the market? Yes, definitely. In fact, I believe that you can actually earn and settle even at an even greater heights than people who pursue a technical job if you work out well. So, moving on to the significant soft skills, communication, and then comes time management. You may have worked on a project for day and night, literally 1 year, and if you're not in time, exactly on the day of presenting it to an important foreign delegate, your entire work is a waste. There's no worth in it. No one sees how talented you are. So, time management is something which is the most crucial and critical point. You need to manage your time so effectively. And then comes conflict resolution. Like I already told you, office or society is a place where we function in such a way that we'll have to interact with different people every day. Have you ever seen someone who's just like you? I mean, like who thinks exactly like you? Your thoughts match 100%? No. Not even your mother's opinion matches with yours. Everyone, like I told you, everyone is unique. So we do have difference of opinion. And it's important that we solve them in a civilized manner. That is called conflict resolution. And then comes team building. Of course, when you work in teams, you should know how to mingle and how to work with your team. That's an important skill. Then comes creative thinking. So, right now, the world is facing a situation. What if the companies say that we planned something when we actually started this business? We don't know anything else and we can't actually think of anything else. So I'm closing this office. I'm going home. This does not have an industry or an organization work. You should, from time to time, observe the changing trends in the industry, shift your path, shift your focus, and adapt yourself. Creative thinking is something very important for the survival of a person or an industry or an organization. And then comes leadership. I think you all don't need an explanation about how important a leadership is. Only if we are under the right leadership can the true potential of us come out. Only then can we do miracles. We all know this, right? A lion leading a herd of sheep can, of course, succeed, while a heading a pride of lions actually wastes both efforts of the sheep as well as that of this pride of lion. So, right leadership is something very, very, very important. So, these are a few of the key soft skills. So, like I told you, sooner or later, the companies are going to start hiring. So, when the companies hire, you will have to deal with the predictive analytics from here on. Yes, you heard me right. So, how many of you over here heard about the word predictive analytics? How many of you over here heard about predictive analytics? Oh my God. Um, Mr. Pavan Kumar, is it okay if we talk after the end of the session? There will be having a Q&A session at the end. I think I'll clear your doubts there. Now let's move on with the session, okay? Perfect. So where were we? Yeah. How many of you heard predictive analytics? Are you all still here with me? Yes. So good. Um, if you had to deal with a manager, imagine the scenario. You have good technical skills, you are actually a suitable candidate for the job, but maybe your communication or something. See, the main purpose of an interview is, in one way or the other, to test if you possess all the above mentioned soft skills. So they probe you to get an answer out of you to check if you're suitable for that position. So if you're dealing with a manager, definitely he has that empathy and human side to him. So he may consider you, though your communication or soft skills are not up to the mark because your technical skills are good. But predictive analytics is a software which analyzes your future actions based on your past digital behavior. So it's not like you can convince a software that you are still a suitable candidate to the job despite your lack of communication or despite your lack of soft skills. Actually, this is the time, like never before, that you'll have to improve your soft skills. This is more like now or never situation. So it's important for us to develop soft skills. Interview skills. Like I told you, what we all do is a day before the scheduled interview, we go to Google. We ask frequently asked interview questions. It gives you around 100 or 1000. See, in Google is a very wide, vast thing. So you'll get a lot of questions. What you do is just choose you don't even go browse it thoroughly. You get some top questions on the top. So you just take them by heart, mug up the answers, go to the interview. That's what we usually tend to do. But the main purpose behind conducting an interview is there's a psychology behind conducting an interview. They want to analyze you in a particular aspect which can never be revealed when you go and say an answer that Google wanted you to say. So there's this one scientifically proven method to decode the interview question, and then a fear of public speaking. Usually, I think most of us during this lockdown, we spent a lot, almost 80% of our time watching web series. A lot of them must be of language English. So, even after, despite watching that, we have got thorough knowledge of English. I don't say that we don't know English, we know. But the main problem comes when we'll have to convey our thoughts in English in front of a large gathering, in front of a crowd. That's when we usually go blank, we usually go numb and weak in knees. This problem, the fear of public speaking, which is one important and common problem I find in most of the people. So, there are a few tips and tricks to overcome this fear of speaking on stage and addressing a gathering. This is also one of the important things that the interviewer is going to look for post pandemic. And of course, there is this thing called common English or grammar errors we tend to make. So, we are actually planning to offer a certification program which is going to train you to decode the interview questions and crack the next HR interview you're going to attend, sure shot. So you can ask me, how can you be so sure that you'll crack the next HR interview? Well, that's because I received this knowledge from my father. I've implemented it practically in around 25 to 30 interviews, and I've never failed an HR interview till date. And during the lockdown as well, I've attended almost 10 to 12 MBA college interviews, and I cracked all of them. So, this is all because I've been following this one principle which helps me crack any HR interview easily. So I'll be training you people how to decode the interview questions and how to crack them, and how to overcome the stage fright, and how to overcome the fear of public speaking, and how to avoid those simple errors in our English which completely crush our confidence, and we sometimes get humiliated in front of people. So these are the three things you'll be offered. And before I want to go to the further slide, I want to know how much do you think will the fee structure for this program be? What do you think? How much are you willing to pay if you want to take up the course? I want to know if any one of you are really serious about cracking the next interview you attend, and how many of you are willing to. You guys are not able to see my screen. Looks like my internet. Uh, is it stable now? Is it okay now? Well, yes. This is a 1 week to 10 days course with 15 plus hours of coaching. Here, we give you all a personalized attention and a day to day assessment. Usually, what happens with this type of courses is another important thing. We know that today information is available all over the internet, but the structured learning is what is different from browsing a random channel or a random website on internet. And that structured learning, so this structured learning program is a comprehensive course of 1 week with 15 plus hours of training and a personalized attention. During this course, you guys will be given an interactive session with an industry expert as well. You will also be given a certificate from Royal Soft Skills Campus, which is the industry leader in Hyderabad. If you want, you can go check in Google for Royal Soft Skills Campus. So this, yes, there is a fees. And before I want to reveal the fee, I want you people to guess what can be the fee structure for this. Well, me as well as my father will be conducting the sessions. My father is a trainer, Mr. Rayapeddi Vivekanand, with 20 plus years of experience in the same industry. We have an institute called Royal Soft Skills Campus. You can go check in Google. It's the #1 rated institute. So anyone are interested in taking up the course? 1.5K to 2K. Any more guesses, my dear friends? Miss Lata raised a hand. Why? Yes, Miss Lata. Well, my dear friends, any guesses, please? Are you all still here? Well, it shows there are 43 participants. 2000. Anyone else? 3K. Fine. For some time, let's put aside the fee structure and everything. I want to know how many of you are genuinely interested to uh, take the first step towards the betterment of your career. I want to know how many of you are interested to join this course. Anyone willing to improve your soft skills so that you'll be ready to face and crack the next interview HR you're going to face? Eager to join. Yes. So, well, this is a course which is of worth 4,999. This is the actual price that we actually charge at our institute, and a lot of students actually took the course and got 100% success. We also have a lot of student testimonies as well who got successful in their careers. But we all know that because of the pandemic, buying capacity of people went really down. So for all the people, all my friends who attended this webinar, I want to give you a small gift, a limited period offer that this course is offered for just rupees 499 till the end of the day. I want all the people interested to book your slot. This is a limited period offer with just little number of seats. So all those who are interested can register, get registered by the end of the day and book your slot. That's great. Yes, great. So like I already told you, this is a comprehensive course which has got 15 plus hours of training and daily assessment. You'll also have guest lectures from the industry experts and personalized attention on each and every student. So here you'll be learning how to decode the interview questions, what is the actual psychology behind the interviews, and how to overcome our fear of public speaking, how to effectively present ourselves to win any situation, and what are the most common mistakes we tend to make in English and how to avoid them. You also get certified from Royal Soft Skills Campus, which is the industry leader. I request all of you to go check in Google. It's the #1 rated institute. So the course is a limited period offer only till the end of the day, which is for rupees 499. And the people who are all interested can move on to the Q&A session. And those who think that this is not for you or this is not what exactly you're here for today, thank you so much for your valuable time. I was really pleased to have you all here, and I'm eagerly waiting to meet you all in my next sessions in the future. So shall we all move on to the Q&A session? Let me know in the chat section, please. Pallavi Gandhi raised a hand. Yes. So let's move to the Q&A session. Have to join. You all have my number. It's from where you received the invite link to this group. So just directly message me and I'll give you the further details of the registration process and all. You'll get the further details through my WhatsApp. So just DM me. And remember that this offer is valid only until the end of the day. And once the day ends, this offer is no longer going to be valid. So better hurry up. So I'm open to questions now. Let's open the Q&A session. Hello. 39 participants and 0 replies. Hello, people. Hello. Are you all here? Just do let me know. The previous question you asked. Yes, let me get to that. But I've seen that people having a good English accent or speaking skills are selected. They are not even tested for technical knowledge. Why is this? Yes. In one way, what you asked is completely true because most of the HRs and managers believe that no, attitude skills can be trained because if you can learn coding in 4 years of engineering, so can you learn them once you join the job. You can learn them as a trainee, you can learn them as a fresher. But Soft skills, like I already mentioned, are something which you need to be learning continuously. It's a continuous process, just like you consume food every day. So that's very difficult to train in a limited period, in a very short span. It's very important that you cultivate it right from the beginning and you start practicing that. Uh, Fine. Hello, am I audible now? Hello? Yes. Okay. So, um, like I already told you, we'll have to work in teams when we get into the corporate world. There, no matter if your technical skills are not up to the mark, some other teammate will definitely balance them out for you. You'll have your teammates looking out for you, so the end product that you're going to offer will more or less be the same. But if as a contributing member of the team, you'll still have to give presentations and seminars during your staff meetings or maybe during the delegate client meetings or something. At that point, if you are not able to communicate effectively, that will have a serious impact on the project as well as your other team members. So, usually HRs take it into consideration that the person has got really good communication skills and really good soft skills. Maybe that was why you would have faced a few of the difficulties, but technical skills are equally important. So, I think I answered your question. Any more questions? Yeah, you're welcome. So, um, I'm keeping this panel open for registrations for the coming 5 to 10 minutes. And those who are interested can give your name so that your slot gets booked. Hello? How public speaking is taught? Well, this is a rather interesting question. Public speaking is what we usually tend to do in front of a lot of audience. Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure, Miss Lata. Thank you. Yeah, public speaking. This is a webinar which had an audience strength of around 55. Would you have stayed this long had I not been an effective communicator? Mr. Shrikant, yeah. Would you have listened to me had I stuttered? Had I given long pauses between each and every sentence I wanted to speak? No. So, this is what public speaking is. There are a few tips and tricks to overcome the stage fright. Actually, right now, I can not see any one of you. Only thing I can see is my camera lens. But still, actually, this is even more difficult than speaking to the actual audience because I don't even know if you guys are listening to me or you guys are just browsing your Instagram feed or something. So, this is actually the worst kind of feeling ever. But if you can manage learning public speaking via digital platform, then nothing can stop you from speaking in the actual crowd. You know what the society needs rightly. Thank you, Mr. Satvik. So, is it just Miss Lata who's ready for registration right now? Anyone else? You can pay me later, but I just want your names to book your slot. And we'll end the session in 5 minutes. If anyone have got any other questions, you can shoot. No, fine, perfect. So looks like no, you guys don't have any more questions. When is your next session? Well, I'm planning it somewhere around next week. Have you made your 4 quadrants before choosing this as a part of full-time profession? Yes, Mr. Heyman. I did this, and only after that did I get a clarity. Because earlier I was equally confused, like most of you people. I had a lot of things I wanted to do. Like I wanted to pursue my MBA, then I wanted to be a soft skills trainer, then an engineer. I actually just wanted to quit all this and get into fashion blogging or something like that. I really had tens of options in my mind. Then I did this 4 quadrant method, saw that soft skills and public speaking is my one strong domain, and this is what society needs as well. So I thought of turning this into my full-time profession. Well, coming back to the question of Miss Preeti, I'm planning my next session somewhere around the end of July, ma'am. Any more questions? Thanks. That was an excellent session. Thank you so much, Mr. Hemant. I just completed my BTech first year. Will you be guiding me further? Well, that depends on your quadrants. I'll have to see them first. How about we talk in a private session, Mr. Satvik? Sure. Thanks. So just DM me after the session and I think I'll be able to guide you. So I'll be having my next session in the July 1st week, and I'm really waiting. I'm eagerly waiting to meet all of you, even in my next session. So, how was the session? Can you give me your reviews about the session, please? Are people still here? Well, we just have 25 participants. Fine. Okay, then it's time I end the session. Thank you so much for coming here. It was indeed a pleasure addressing all of you. I, in fact, enjoyed it. This was like the best session I've ever had. Thank you so much. If you guys still have any questions, I'm open for them. Or if you want to ask me something later, I'm always available over WhatsApp and you have my number. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye. Enjoy your Sunday.